Hi, happy Monday, everybody. Just give a couple of seconds for people to find me. Hopefully people are getting notifications. My phone has just pinged to tell me that I'm live, which is good. I hope everybody's had a really lovely weekend and a very productive Monday. I have literally not stopped all day. It's been a really, really busy day. So I hope everybody's weekend has been filled with lots of sewing and lots of fun things. So I thought today's catch up, I'd just kind of share with you what I've been sewing this week. Obviously, if you've joined me on my lives this week, you will have seen what I've been sewing. But for those of you who haven't, I will just share it. I have been doing some decluttering. So obviously last week I talked about sort of destashing and decluttering. I have made a little bit of a start. I have got some fabric behind me to work through, and I have got a pile of basically papers that I've kept, old patterns that I've traced out, dressmaking wise, that, even I do plan to try and get back into dressmaking this year. But even if I get back into dressmaking, those patterns that I've traced out aren't going to fit. So I kind of need to recycle those and what have you. So I have made a really good dent, and I've got 2 shelves in my cupboard totally decluttered. So I've had a really, really productive week. Probably why I'm absolutely shattered. I'm so tired today. But yeah, it has been a busy week. So Jilly's joining us. She's saying she's looking forward to this live. Sophie's here. She's tracing out a pattern onto fabric, and Dawn's here. I really enjoyed watching your live yesterday. I didn't obviously catch it all with the time difference, but I really enjoyed watching the bowler bag come together. Such beautiful fabrics, and I rewatched it from the beginning today while I was packing orders. So you kept me company while I was packing orders today, and it was beautiful to see it come together. Janet's joining us from Stockton, which isn't far from me, and Jo is saying she got one of Emma's advent calendars. It's just so beautiful. She had a few returned and managed to bag one. Oh, well, I had to sit on my hands when I saw them go on the group, because I'm after some of the webbing. I don't really need it, because I usually wear the bag that I made as a backpack. But just if I ever want to wear it as a crossbody, I do want to make a crossbody strap, and I don't have enough webbing. So I do want some webbing, either of the plain or the patterned, out of the advent box. So it did cross my mind very briefly. Oh, shall I try and nab one of those boxes? The entire box, just to get some of the webbing. And I was like, Deb, don't be so ridiculous. You're trying to destash. That is a ridiculous notion. Just wait, because somebody might not need their webbing and might be destashing their webbing. And I was like, so I was very good. And then sort of 10 minutes later, I saw that they had sold out, and I was like, so proud of myself for being a good girl. Melanie's here and saying this is a nice surprise. I'm cutting out a pattern too. Brian's here. Rita says hello from Dorset. Janet saying she loved the 24-day advent box. Yeah, I think everybody's still sort of like so in love with that box, and it's pretty much probably wishing the year away to get next year's box. But I'll be really excited to see what Emma comes up with next year, trying to do bigger and better. She usually sort of gives me sort of little spoilers sometimes of what's in the bag maker's box. Not all the time, because obviously I buy the bag maker's box, so she doesn't want to spoil. But sometimes she'll sort of say, I've got this thing and I've got to share. But she was very, very good, and I knew the colour that was in the advent box, but I didn't know anything else. So yeah, it was fab. I loved it. And I have, obviously I opened my bag makers box for this month last week. So if you didn't see that, go and watch last Monday's live. And I definitely think I'm going to make a passion flower with that fabric. I'm toying between using a purple and using a black, but I think I'm going to use a purple to match it, like a really sort of bright, like really bright Cadbury purple to go with it. Rebecca says, hi all for a wet and windy London. Yeah, I don't even actually know what it's like up here today. I've been scurrying away in my workroom, packing orders. The only time I've really looked out is when I've gone to make a cup of tea, and this is only my third cup of tea of the day. So then it's only the second one that I've made myself. So and it didn't look that nice when I've looked out. So yeah, so I'm going to share with you what I've made this week. So on Tuesday, I made up was it Tuesday this week that I made up the Ethel tote? I think it was. I didn't share this with you last week, did I? If I shared it with you last week, I'm so sorry. It was this week, wasn't it? What did I make? I'm going to check on my phone. What did I make up this week? You know, when one week just seems to merge into the next lives. Go back. Yes, so I made the Ethel and the Dolly. I got a little bit confused. It was the Harley the week before. So yes, so I made the Ethel tote this week, made with wool, like a wool blend, and this is leather, and it's a really soft, thin leather. It's not particularly thick, so it's really nice to work with. And it sort of, the weight went so well with this this fabric. It's lined with just a simple cotton. I've got a little blown up bag in there to sort of poof it out when it's on display. But yeah, it's got I don't know whether you can see that very well, but it's quilted bottom, Decaville in the bottom. I tend to always use Decaville heavy in the bottom of my bags now, and I have a real love of quilting the bottom of my bags. If you know, if I'm using like a base like this, I find it keeps the Decaville in place as well. So when you turn it through, it doesn't move, it doesn't wrinkle as much. And I really do like it. I didn't put any purse feet on this one. I could have done, but I chose not to. It's got a slip pocket on this side and a zipper pocket, and obviously a slip pocket on the front. And yeah, I really enjoyed making it, and I really do love how it is turned out. I do have like a little bit of a soft spot for a wool bag, especially wool and leather together. I think it's just really classy. It's just, I don't think you can go wrong with it. And I do have a very, very big stash of wool blends. The wool blend came from Emmanuel's. The leather came from MJH Leathers in Whitechapel in London, and the cotton inside came from Emmanuel's as well. All of the fabrics that I've used are listed in the live video, so you can go and check them out on the live video. But yeah, so that was my first make of the week. Dawn saying 5 days ago. I'm not sure what was in relation to 5 days ago. Maybe it's rain. Brian saying we've just had our first rain in months over the weekend, which was so needed to help control the massive wildfires about an hour from us. Yeah, it's so scary, all the wildfires over in America. I know, obviously, as Brits, we really we whinge about the weather so much, and we do it so well. We whinge when it's raining, we whinge when it's windy, we whinge when it's hot. We do whinge about the weather so much, but yeah, you can't win. When you made up that bag, it was last Wednesday, 5 days ago. Oh, was it? Oh, well, I'm sharing it again. I thought it was last Tuesday. Oh, it's got on here. Ethel by Swoon, streamed 5 days ago. Oh, well, never mind. But yeah, Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever. I tend to try and go live either Tuesday or Thursday. If I'm trying to be good, I try to go live both days, but it doesn't always succeed. But thank you for keeping me right, Dawn, even if I don't know that you're keeping me right. So yes. So Rebecca saying, "Oh, Brian, do a rain dance for more." Definitely do a rain dance for more. Definitely, hopefully keep those fires at bay and get them put out. It is a very, very scary situation and not pleasant at all. So I actually went live on Saturday this week, a little bit impromptu, which then didn't go to plan because cameras, lighting, nothing would work. So thankfully, Andy helped me get it all sorted out. Everything basically got dismantled from the computer, dismantled from stands, and got reset back up again. So a couple of hours later, I went live. I was slightly tempted to kind of say, do you know what? Sorry, I'm just going to go and sit on the sofa and have a cup of tea. But I was like, no, I've got it all sorted. I've got it all set up now. So I'm going to go live. And I made up a dolly, which is so cute. I do love it. I didn't put the slip pocket on the back. I put an extra accent on the back, which I really, really like. And what I did was put the slip pocket on the middle. I'm just going to take out my little poofed up bag. So the slip pocket is on the inside, but I like that it's got the same accent on the back. This is a Torn saying, "Oh goodness, tell me about things not going to plan." Yesterday was a gong show for me. Last week was just literally a week from hell. It was awful. But these things are sent to try us, and as I try to say to everybody, everything is a learning experience. Some learning experience you don't want to have, but we have them, and we move on. We just move on from them. So yeah, but it ended up turning out really, really well, and I'm absolutely in love with this little cute bag. It isn't the easiest bag to make when you sew on a industrial machine because it is quite small. When you're sewing on a flatbed, it is quite a challenging bag to make, but you can go and watch the live. You can see how I kind of do it on a flatbed. But this is a water resistant canvas that I'd had for a while. You can kind of see the how the blue kind of goes together with it. And I just love it. I had so little of this fabric. Like I had to be so careful cutting this out, but I managed to eke it out. So I didn't interface the water resistant canvas. It is literally just got some fusible fleece on the water resistant canvas, some fusible fleece on the vinyl, and then the inside is just a quilting cotton. I can't remember where I got the quilting cotton from. It's like absolutely escaped me. It might have been Sew Fabrics in Darlington, but I'm not 100% sure. The water resistant canvas is something that I've had in like for the longest time ever, and the vinyl I think was Emmanuel's. It usually is because that's where I usually pick it up from. Obviously all my hardware and everything comes from my website. But yeah, so, and I did change up my strap connector. If you can see the bottom, I changed it so that my strap connector went all the way around the bottom, and I kind of go through that in the live. So you can go and watch the replay. It is, you know, live so long, so I'm a little bit more chatty. So it's not the quickest video, but I do kind of talk you through how I did those measurements. And I'm going to sew up an acacia. I think Dawn kept me right the other day, hoping that doesn't fall off. Yeah, I'm going to sew an acacia, which Brian will love, because I'll just kind of show you a couple of bits. I'll show you the flat pieces. So I'm going to sew, this is going to be my vinyl, and this is going to be my main fabric, just for you, Brian. I've got some chicken fabric, and I'm going to use the same technique to put my strap connectors on. I'm going to take the strap connectors all the way around the bottom. So that's going to be Tuesday's live, and I haven't scheduled a live for Thursday, but I am hoping to do a live for Thursday, fingers crossed. So just keep an eye on my homepage on my channel. They'll just kind of come up in that little sort of area where you see upcoming lives, and you can click to be notified. But what I'm thinking about doing is ending the month of free patterns, because you will have seen that all of my videos this month have been free patterns, and I'm thinking about ending the month with the sunshine, which is Brian saying, woohoo, I've infected you with chicken fever. Absolutely have. I'm thinking about doing a sunshine, because sunshine is just one of my favorite bags, and I just thought it'd be a fun way to end the month of free bag patterns. And what I was thinking of doing is going pink. I'm going to move my cup of tea because I don't want to knock it onto my either my keyboard or my sewing machine. So I was thinking of this for the middle and possibly some of the lining pieces. I haven't got a massive amount, but I think I'll have enough to kind of do a good chunk of it. Accents in this. Now this is not a vinyl I would normally pick. Like, this is not me. It was picked out to do a bag for my daughter. I made her an Estrella, I think that's how you pronounce it. And I made it at 120%. She wanted a really big bag for uni, and she wanted it in bright pink. So this is the vinyl that I found for her. It's not my favorite vinyl to work in. It was just kind of one that I picked up when I was somewhere and I saw the color. I went for the color as opposed to the type of vinyl that I like to work in. But it worked out great for her. But I still had quite a chunk of it left because it was sold in I think meters, and it was quite wide. So there's quite a bit of it left. So way more than what I need. So yes, so I'm thinking these, and then with some of this for the other part of the lining. So I mean, this is going to be a pink bag. I mean, it's probably going to end up in my daughter's hands, because yeah, like I say, I'm not a pink girl. Although when I had my colours done, she was like, oh, your colours are like, yes, you're a summer, you should wear pink. And I was like, absolutely not happening. She did say pink and purple, so I'm going a little bit more down the purpley line, but it's like absolutely not when she said pink. Dawn saying love fussy cutting. Yeah, it can be a little bit stressful sometimes when you sort of like getting to that last piece and thinking, please let me have planned this out properly. Dawn saying that's so pretty. Yeah. And Sophie's worn her iron out. Oh, I hope it's okay. I hope you managed to get all your pattern cut out. But yeah, so that is hopefully my plan for Thursday, for Thursday's live. Fingers crossed. Because I think, is it Friday is the end of the month. So I'm hoping to get to end the month on a sunshine. Janet saying I go to Sew Fabrics in Darlington too. Yeah, I've known Amanda for a long time, probably well over 20 years, and she's lovely. And if you can't find the fabric that you want in Sew Fabrics, then there's something wrong, because that place is like a cornucopia of it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And Amanda can usually get it in for you as well. And if you're not local, if you message her on the Facebook page or ring her, she'll send it out as well. She's fantastic. So yeah, so that is like kind of what I've been sewing up, what my plans are for this coming week. And then obviously I'm sort of like planning into next month as well. So I'm kind of thinking next month of doing, I've got a Tribbiani already cut out, so I'm thinking of making up a Tribbiani, and I have a Vicky Me already cut out as well. So I'm thinking they're probably going to be into the first week of February. But I'm really enjoying sewing live. It's really scary and it's really daunting, and I'm making loads of mistakes, like you do, because if you're putting videos out and you're sewing and you're editing, you can kind of edit those mistakes out. But one of the things that I'm kind of really wanting to do is push myself out of my comfort zone, with my channel, but also with my sewing as well. So we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes when we're sewing. Obviously, I usually swear when I make my mistakes, which I've obviously not got to do when I'm live on YouTube. So that's a challenge in itself. But it is getting me out of my comfort zone. It is making me realize that I can do it. And mistakes aren't the end of the world. We don't have to kind of like chuck it and go, oh God, it's useless, it's no good, because we can put it right. And I am actually really, really enjoying sewing live and having you guys in the chat. I'm enjoying kind of coming on and chatting about what my plans are. And I find myself like I enjoy tending to watch live videos, even on replays, than I still watch a lot of pre-recorded and edited videos as well, but I tend to enjoy the live videos, and even on a replay, they're the videos that I really enjoy the most. But that's one of the things that I kind of wanted to pick your brains about as well, was I need some new people to follow. So I was kind of going through all of my who I subscribe to, and a lot of the people who I subscribe to have kind of like not putting out videos anymore. So so I'm finding like I'm getting less and less sewing videos in my feed. So give me some ideas of, and it doesn't have to be just bag making, because even though I don't typically dress make, I just enjoy sewing in general, and I do think that you can learn techniques that transfer over into into bag making from dressmakers and such like as well. So I follow Kasaya. It was Kasaya who gave me a bit of a shove to do more lives when I had my chat with her on the podcast, which I'm going to come to this week's episode in a second. And I was sort of chatting to her just sort of like before we kind of went live, and we were sort of chatting about how you fit everything in, and she was saying going live's been change things for her, and I was like, oh God, it scares me. And she was like, just do it, you'll be fine. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And she's like, honestly, just do it. And I was like, right, I'm going to. So she's sort of like being a bit of an inspiration to just kind of do it, and it'll be fine. And it has. I follow Kasai, I follow Lauren, I follow probably all of like the big main ones that about, but I'd love some more inspiration. So definitely give me some links. I don't think you can share links in in the chat, the comments, but if you just type people's names, I will go and find them. Rebecca's saying Dave's Craft Room. I've not heard of him, so I will go and check him out. Randomness. Love some randomness. I was watching, I think she was called Nicole from Sonar. Is it Sonar? Because I don't want to pronounce the J. And I just love her. I love, like, she's just so quirky, a bit like me. And I love that. Yeah. Catherine Soers. I think I follow Catherine Soers. I think, but I'm going to go and check. Is a sewing teacher, and I love watching the way she takes garments and turns them into something new. Yeah, I think I do follow her, so I'm going to go and check. So yeah. So if anybody's watching this back on a replay, and you know you've got your favourite channels to follow, please do drop me who they are in the comments box, because I definitely need some new inspiration, because my feed has been taken over by like other things that, you know, I'm like, where's this coming from? So I'm in need of some new people to watch. So leads me on to Wednesday. I have Matt from MJH Leathercraft coming onto the podcast. I'm really, really excited to sort of hear his journey into how he got into creating any of the bags and the things that he makes, because they are just stunning. Like, if anybody's in the Facebook group, and you'll see his makes, like, they're just works of art, like they're just outstanding. So definitely go and check him out, and then come and listen to his episode, because I think he'd be a real inspiration. So yeah, please do come and join us on Wednesday, and come and listen to Matt. I'm probably expecting to go down a rabbit hole of Brian saying there's a new bag maker named Grumpy. That is a hoot. Depends on your take, Brian. For anybody new who is just kind of joining us for the first time, Grumpy is my husband, who has decided to start and make the occasional bag when he can get into the sewing room, which isn't very often. But he's actually started his new job now, Brian. So he's not as bored. He's not got as much time on his hands now. Janet's saying I was making a couple of bags yesterday. Really made a mistake on the second one, but hey ho, it turned out all okay and a bit different to the first one. Yeah, like, they're not mistakes, they're features. I mean, it's like this on the dolly. When I was doing this one here, when I put together the two bits, it just was. And I did it on the first one as well, and I knew I'd done it wrong. And I was like, don't do it on the second one, don't do it on the second one. And I did it on the second one. And it was just instinctive to me to top stitch around so that I could trim it back and even it up. And then I was like, oh no, I'm not supposed to top stitch it now. I'm supposed to top stitch it onto the flap. So I was like, oh, you've done exactly the same mistake as what you did the first time. So all I did was I just did a second row of stitching on the flap before I attached it, and then attached it with a second row of stitching and made it a feature. So it was just, I just try to turn that mistake into a lesson. I usually make mistakes twice and learn on the third time. So yeah, Dawn saying Jeannie's designs. I love Jeannie. Well, it's Barbara, isn't it? But yeah, I do. I like watching her. I like watching her, Dawn, because I find her quite similar to you. She's quite methodical in how she makes her bags. She's not somebody who like rushes through. She's quite conscientious, and I like that. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she comes up in my feed all the time, so I'm sure I will have subscribed to her. So yeah, so come and join me tomorrow for the Acacia, Wednesday for chat with Matt, and possibly a sunshine on Thursday, depending on how my week goes. Sue says, bit late, been having an argument with my sewing machine, retop stitching, nearly went out the window. We've all been there, Sue. We've all been there. And Dawn's agreeing with me. She loves Bob. Yeah, I thought it was Bob. I'm probably because I haven't followed her from the beginning. I don't know why it's Jeannie's designs and not Barbara's designs. I'll have to try and maybe go back and watch some of her older ones and try and find out why. And now there's probably people in the chat who's going, and why is Deb's husband called Grumpy, or why is she referring to him as Grumpy and not Andy? There's a story there. So I'm looking forward to my week ahead. I've got quite a busy one. I am going to still be trying to work my way through the fabrics here. I'm going to work out which ones I want to de-stash. I've got a lot of stuff to go to charity shop because I did have a big stash of clothes that I was kind of hoarding, that I liked the fabrics. I was like, I can turn them into bags and such. And I thought, I'm holding onto these clothes that could be useful to somebody from a charity shop or, Salvation Army or something like that. And they're sitting in my cupboard. And when will I actually get to them? Who knows? They've probably been there about well over a year, probably a year and a half. So they're going back into somewhere where they're going to be useful. So they need to go. And then I was looking at the places where, like the sort of scrap store type places where I've got like odds and ends of zips and what have you. Somebody was telling me that Dun Elm do sort of a similar sort of thing where they take in like haberdashery that can't be recycled. So I'm going to look into that as well. Janet's saying my passion crafts on YouTube. I'm going to go and look at that. Brian saying I've been watching a lot of OK So. I love Nicole on OK So. Again, another person who's very, very methodical, very, very precise, and she's very, very good. Sue's been buying more patterns. Dawn saying about Barb's channel, it was original Barbie's designs, I think, but she didn't want people thinking she was doing designs with Barbie the doll. So Jeannie is either her middle name or her mother's. Oh, right, okay. So that makes sense. Yeah. Sophie saying I like watching Debbie show now and then. Yeah, Debbie's somebody who I quite often put on in the background when I'm packing orders and stuff. I like Debbie's quite sort of calming, and yeah, so I quite like to have like Debbie on in the background quite often as well. So yeah, but I've enjoyed our little catch up again today. If people are enjoying them, please do let me know in the comments. Rather than filming and editing, here's what I've been sewing. I thought, I'd keep them in the live format of what I've been doing. So if you are enjoying it, please do give it a like. Let me know in the comments down below. If you want me to, I'll keep doing them live every week. I'm happy to do that. If it's too often, I'm happy to do it maybe more at the end of the month and do it as a roundup at the end of the month. I'm kind of really playing with my channel at the moment and seeing what works, what doesn't, and dropping what doesn't work and keeping what does work in the format that it's working in. So so if you have enjoyed it, please do give it a like. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, please consider doing so. And thank you to everybody who sends me lovely messages, who tells me that I inspire them to do bags and what have you. It really does, it makes me day. Dawn says, do you do mail opening? Usually my bag maker's box, which I did last week. But I'm probably not going to be getting a lot of mail because I'm trying to get it out, not in. But yeah. Rebecca saying, I enjoy these pop-ins. Thank you. I enjoy them too, because I like the connection as well. So I'm going to let everybody get on with their day. I am going to get myself sorted because Grumpy is due in from work any moment now, and we are going to pop out when he gets in, and he'll be so shocked that I'm done and I'm sorted and I'm ready to go when he walks through the door. He'll not even know who he's married to. Brian says, love the chats, helps me feel like I'm not alone in the sewing room, which is exactly why I do them, Brian, because it makes me feel like I'm not alone in the sewing room either. So enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I will see hopefully everybody tomorrow. Bye.